What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Flippin' Stoop. I hope all you resellers are doing good. We're a little over 4 years and a couple months of reselling myself. And I'm going to go over 8 things that has worked for us, which you could actually correlate that with what wouldn't work, right? When it comes to reselling. And this is just what I've learned. I'm not saying there's not different methods. I'm not saying there isn't different ways to resell. Please note that I know resellers that don't have a niche. I swear by a niche, but I know other resellers that don't have a niche and they're knocking shit out of the park. So one thing about reselling is if you want to be successful at it, there's multiple ways, but what I tried doing is narrowing down like the 8 things that can pretty much work for anybody when it comes to reselling, regardless of your niche, regardless if you don't have a niche, right? The one topic I'm going to talk about today is going to contradict that, whether you have a niche or not, because it's just my opinion. Now this is for 4 years and a few months of reselling. I am not a master reseller yet. I think to be a master at anything, you got to be gung ho at something for 5 to 10 years. Then I think you could become a master at it, right? So I am not a master. I still have room to learn. I'm not saying this is the only way, and I would never say that even if I was 15 years in, right? Because there's always new things you can learn. Obviously, the eBay app is updating left and right. They're really trying to bring things up to speed. So first thing I'm going to talk about and get into is the number one thing that I've learned throughout 4 years. Now, mind you, in 4 years and a few months, I have had times where I have not listed every day, right? I've had days where I've had to miss. Life happened, right? Something come up, I couldn't list that day. I've also had times where I was very gung ho, very consistent, very, very zeroed in and focused. And when I was doing that, our eBay sales were through the roof. So my number one thing we're going to go over is I've said it in almost all my videos. What's the number one thing that will lead you to success as a reseller on eBay? And that is consistency. Now, my consistency might look different than yours, right? It doesn't matter your level of consistency, because one person's consistency might be 8 hours a day, where another's is 2, where another's is 45 minutes. It doesn't don't mix it up like that, right? When I'm saying consistency, I'm not talking about you as soon as you wake up till the time you go to bed, you got to be doing this shit. Because in all actuality, the level of success you want to reach and obtain is up to you, and nobody can take that from you, right? It doesn't matter if you want to hit an extra 1 sale a week. Who cares? That's your shit, right? But the number one thing over the past 4 years and 3 months that I've learned, and I know it to be factual, is your consistency matters on eBay. And it's not just eBay, guys. If you really look at this in life, in general in life, you hear me use gym analogy a lot. If you're not consistent in the gym, the only thing you're doing is cheating yourself. And the same thing goes if you're not consistent on eBay. The only person you're hurting is yourself, your sales, right? Because eBay does not like inconsistent. I'm not saying they frown upon you, right? But they're going to give more traffic to the person that is more consistent than the one that is less consistent, right? It's just factual. That's what I've learned over 4 years and 3 months. So consistency being number one. Number two, having fair prices. And we all can do that. You don't have to be lazy. I've done it many a times, listed shit when I was lazy. I didn't want to look up and do the research, and I priced it $4 or $5 too high, and it sat forever, and then I dropped the price and it sold immediately, right? So fair prices is yet another one, and we all can do that. We all can get on eBay and search similar items. Now, if there's not a similar item on eBay, for example, some sweaters I find, there's not another one on eBay. So I make the price depending on the rarity of it, the quality of it, and its condition. I make a price up in my head, and I say what what is the actual value to this to me. You got to take in consideration your time it took you to get that item, your time to prep that item, your time to do photography, your time to actually list that item, and wherever it's sitting, right? So calculate all that. Now, if you're selling a lot of things other people already have, don't if somebody's got something listed for $22, Don't list it for 30. It's going to sit there forever. Somebody's going to buy the one that's 20. Now, unless the one that 22. There is you know, obvious situations. If my sweatshirt has a hole in it and yours don't, then yes, it's different. It's in better condition. But if they're both in excellent condition and yours is $30 and theirs is 22, who do you think is going to sell faster? I mean, that's obvious. Good customer service. I think a lot of people overlook this. People want to feel valued. Bottom line, and everywhere in life, right? If a customer, first of all, most customers that are say they're the first time in your store, they're leery, they're worried, they're concerned. Why do you think feedback's so important, right? Like they are worried. Like, is this customer actually going to ship me the item they said they're going to ship me in the condition that it is presented, right? They're worried. So having good customer service, in my opinion, now mind you guys, this is only 4 years and 3 months of experience of reselling. I'm not a master, but I don't think you'll do great on eBay with poor customer service. What do I mean by poor customer service? Ignoring your customers. Oh, I'll get to that message next week. Don't do that. You're going to lose potential customers. That might be an every week customer, right? Don't talk to them shitty. Even if they're talking to you shitty, find a way around it. Go vent somewhere, go do something, and then come back to the message, right? And respond to your customers on a daily basis. If they leave you feedback, damn it, leave them feedback, right? And even if they don't leave you feedback, leave them feedback. Selling similar items. Now, this is the one that's going to be controversial to the person that sells everything, right? Because I used to be that person, and I actually didn't do bad when I sold everything. When we sold everything, I did pretty good my first year, right? I was just getting a lot of returns on electronic items, and I was getting, and then the store ended up going under due when COVID hit, and it was around the holidays. My packages were sitting. I was delivering them, but they were sitting in the post office. They were getting lost in translation. Sometimes they wouldn't move for weeks, which put me below seller's level. I tried digging my way out for 2 months. Wasn't happening, so I just picked a niche with clothes and got at it, right? So selling similar items helps. It here's why it helps, right? I didn't understand it in the beginning, and some other people don't. eBay starts sending you a certain amount of traffic that's looking for a certain item. They know, like if somebody's looking for a vintage sweater, they might go to my store. Why? Because I have a lot of vintage sweaters on my store. You get what I'm saying? eBay knows what you're going to list. They know what traffic to send you. If you're confusing them all the time and you're listing, I've done this before in this store where I spent like 3 months of listing nothing but denim jeans. And then I started listing sweaters, right? And then my sales kind of went down a little bit. And then they picked back up and I still got all them denim jeans on. But my sweaters started selling because I was listing them more often than I was the denim jeans. Start listing a couple more denim jeans and all of a sudden my jeans would start selling again. You guys see where I'm getting at? So selling similar items most definitely helps. This is an obvious. Delivering your packages on time. Man, there's I can't really elaborate on that. That's just, if you say you're going to get your packages to the post office today, god damn it, get them there today, right? Don't wait for 3 days. I mean, unless something crazy happens like today, and then I would strongly encourage you to get a hold of every one of them customers. Today here in Michigan and a lot of other places in different states, we're supposed to get a winter storm so bad that something we ain't seen in 40 years is what they're calling 50-mile-an-hour winds. It's supposed to be crazy, right? Now, this might shut down our post office tomorrow. If we get the amount of snowfall, power outages, things of that nature, but I would still find a way to contact the people that purchased items for you. You can always go in your seller's hub and do that, right? Or you can even go into your phone and message each one of them. Hey, look, man, we just had a horrific storm, or if your house burnt down or something crazy, right? If something catastrophic happens, contact your customers, let them know. I've done it before. 9 out of 10 customers are going to be understandable. Okay, they're going to be honest. And then every once in a while, you're going to get that one asshole customer that's just going to chew you in the ass and try to make you feel worse, and your house just burnt down, right? But that's life and that's business. That's going to happen. So delivering packages on time, to me, it's kind of obvious. That's not something that I had to eat. I didn't learn that really in 4 years and 3 months of reselling. I just thought, hey, if you say you're going to do something in business, do it, right? Number 6 kind of goes hand in hand with number 1. Is number 1 was consistency. Number 6 is discipline. Discipline is taught. A lot of people don't understand that. Yes, there are some people that are naturally more disciplined than others, but I can almost guarantee them people that are more disciplined than others, they were taught that through childhood. They had to wash the dishes before they could go to a friend's house. They had to take out the trash on trash day. They had to make their bed before they could leave their room. This type of stuff right here, when somebody's got to make their bed every single morning before they leave, before you know it, you don't even realize you're doing it. Same goes with eBay. You're not. I don't care what any reseller on here says and how committed they are and how disciplined they are. Right? That not every single day are you going to want to do this. That's one major thing I've learned in 4 years. We'll just say just a little over 4 years of reselling. Is there's probably going to be more days you don't want to do this than there is days you want to do this, right? So you have to be able to start practicing discipline. It can be with the littlest things. I actually went for a long time without exercising. I was starting to feel like crap, and I wasn't bringing any water intake into my system, right? I was like basically drinking coffee, drinking pop, and putting garbage in my system. So what changed that was something very small. So drive to the store every single morning, get me and my fiance a coffee. So instead of drinking pop on the way to the store, this is gonna sound silly. I grabbed one bottle of water and I took it with me and I drank the water bottle on the way to go get the coffee instead of the pop. What that did now, I'm drinking 8 to 10 of these a day. Right now, this was, well over a month ago. It took time to build up to the amount of water intake I'm doing, but that's what little things start building discipline. You say you're going to list 10 items a day, list 10 items a day, whether you want to do it or not. And that's going to build self-confidence in you and your business. That's going to build confidence in where you believe your business can go, right? If the days you don't want to do it, you just don't do it. In the back of your head, you're signing yourself off. You're basically telling yourself, look, man, you're never going to be consistent enough for this shit. You're never going to be disciplined enough, just like the rest of your fucking life. That's what I used to do, right? I used to write myself off all the time. I would start something, get okay at it or halfway through it, and then something challenging would come, and I'd say, fuck this shit, right? And I'd quit doing it. Well, if you do that in reselling, you're not going to make it. I don't believe you're going to make it. It don't matter what level you want to get to. If you can't start practicing discipline with the littlest things. Listen, the funny thing in life, here's a little funny analogy. It's not an analogy, actually. It's just factual. We all know what we have to do to live a healthy life. How many of us do it? How many of us stop at a McDonald's fucking 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 6 times a week, right? How many of us know we have to exercise but don't exercise? Look, the truth is, people just want to do what they want to do when they want to do it, right? That's the bottom line, and this is where discipline steps in, right? You have to, even today, I still don't want to wake up and drink the water intake that I gotta drink. I don't want to take my protein supplements. I love the gym. That's nothing for me. Going to the gym, I love it. I love getting sweaty and I like getting a good swell on and I like lifting and moving weights, right? I love that aspect of it. The water intake, the protein intake, the food and the calorie intake, I dislike about it. How am I going to correlate that with eBay? I love it when eBay sends me payouts. How many of you love it when eBay sends you payouts or you sell something, right? But do you love the going out in the hunt? A lot of people love the hunt. But do you love the cleaning of whatever item, the preparation to get it to the point of where you can list it, do the photographies, and right? Do you love that aspect of it? Probably not, right? Most people, if I made a video where I was stating if you could hire one person for a month to do something you don't like to do on eBay, I can almost guarantee everybody in this group would either say photography or listing the item. Right? Almost every one of us can relate with that, right? It's boring. Listen, I stand here for between 5 to 7 hours, depending on how long it is. Sometimes only 6, but in between that area, in a same spot. measuring the same fucking shirt with a different print on it, right? I do that 6 hours a day. It gets boring, right? There's no excitement behind it anymore for me, but I have to find something to make it exciting, right? And how do I do that? Well, let's see how much I can build my inventory this next month, right? Not how much I can grow my income. Because if you're paying attention just to the income in the beginning, this was one thing that set me back so far from pushing harder, is I was always thinking about the sale, the sale, the sale. If you're always thinking about the sale, they're not going to come fast enough and you're going to get disappointed. If like all your energy is predicated on the sale, you're going to get discouraged fast, right? Because it's not going to happen fast enough, right? They're not going to go ching, 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 and you're going to get them little endorphins off in your head. That's not going to happen to where you want it to, right? Why? Because we're impatient as human beings. You know, some have better patience than others, but most of us are impatient to a degree. Me included. I'm not like, listen, guys, when I talk about this shit, I'm not ever like you guys, you guys, you guys. I'm talking about all of us as one, right? Me included. So I think discipline is one of the hardest. Why? I don't know. We know what you know what you have to do every single day when it comes to eBay. Why do we make it a challenge? It's our thought process. You want to do something else you can't do right now, but you got to do what you got to do, right? That's discipline. All right. Number 7, we're gonna jump into this, and I can't tell you how to do your schedule because my opinion is no time's the right time, right? No time. It don't matter. I don't care if you start at 1 o'clock in the morning, you don't finish till 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't care if you start at 6 and finish at noon. I don't care if you start at noon and don't finish till fucking midnight. That doesn't matter. The time, it's 24 hours, man. eBay's open 24 hours, 365 days a week. The time you list does not matter. Look, you'll hear some people say, oh, I'll get better results when I list in the morning. Okay, so then list in the morning, dude, because I've got great results all the way around the fucking clock. Right? I've worked third shift, I've worked second shift, I've worked 24 hours straight. You know what I mean? I've worked first shift, I've worked them all. And I get pretty close to the same results on every single one, right? Listen to your body and do it when you're most energetic. And write a schedule. I don't think there's anything more important other than the discipline and the consistency than a schedule. Even if that schedule is going to change in 90 days. Write something down. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever time you decide to wake. But by 9 o'clock, I've already been to the gym. I've been back. Whatever your schedule is, write it down and stick to it for 90 days. I guarantee you'll get results. If you stick to a schedule, if you're all over the place, you don't know when you're going to list, you don't know when you're going to fucking take photos, you don't know when you're going to deliver your pack, you're mind fucking yourself. You don't know what you're going to do, so you're all over the place. So it's really hard to be consistent when you're all over the place. I use the GPS analogy all the time, man. You're trying to get somewhere across the country and you don't have a destination. You're going to be driving all over fucking hell, doing a whole bunch of shit. What you're going to do is waste a bunch of fucking time. If you just had the address, you'd get there, right? So write down a schedule and stick to it, right? I'm faulty of that too. Many of times have I went outside my schedule, or I haven't thought it through to reevaluate my schedule and see if I need to add a little bit more to it, right? Number 8 is an inventory system that works for you, right? My inventory system might not work for you. Your inventory system might not work for me. Figure it out. It might take you 90 days to figure out a good inventory system to work for you. It did for me. And then it turned out to be the easiest inventory system in the world. I started at 0001, and I'm going till I never have, like, the number is infinite. I don't have no A/01 C, but if that's the way you do it, right? That's just too complicated for me. I just keep it as simple as fucking possible. 0001. When that number sells, I go to the box that has that number on it, and I fucking pull it. Right? And then I write it down, I refill that fucking number. I use that number again. I keep recycling the numbers. So 4867, I might have sold that same inventory number 69 times. I don't know. But I just keep redoing it. So I'm going to go over it really fast again. I just wanted to share with you guys some things I've learned over... another thing I've learned over the past 4 years in a few months is shit's going to change. A lot of things changed. in 4 years. So I'd imagine in another 4 years, a lot more shit's gonna fucking change. You don't have to look for change. People are like, I always need a change. Look, man, shit's changing every single day. Everything there are people on eBay that are hired to update this fucking platform as often as possible. Right? They're getting a salary every year to just keep making it better. Right? So you don't have to look for change. It's coming. Right? Change is always coming. So that's another thing I learned is what's working for you right now in 2 years might not work for you. It might not work for you, but be okay with that. Just grow with it, okay? So let's go back over that. Number 1 is consistency. Number 2 is fair prices. Number 3 is good customer service. Number 4 is selling similar items. That when I first heard that, I heard Rally Roots talking about that, right? I thought they just said that because they could post an item faster because they've already sold one similar to it, so they could just use that as a template, right? That's another thing that works good as templates. Never got into them though. So selling something similar doesn't mean just because you can go in there and click on a sold and upload. What it means is eBay's got algorithms for whatever you're selling, right? Just imagine it's like a brain, and you're selling nothing but automobiles for the first 6 months, right? And then all of a sudden you start throwing dirt bikes in there. They're going to be like, what the fuck? They don't know what traffic to send you now. They were sending people that were punching in automobiles. They were sending that to you, the traffic to you. Now you're selling dirt bikes. They don't know who the fuck to send to you. It confuses the algorithm. Another thing I've learned also, guys, this is going beyond my number 8, right? Is it's kind of coming as I'm going on with this video. Is there's a big controversy about this. People that have free shipping sell more items than people that don't. That's a bunch of bullshit. I've never had free shipping, but I will tell you this: don't have half of your items free shipping and the other half fucking shipping. Because that really fucks eBay. eBay don't know what to do. You're throwing them for a loop. So my answer to, or my solution for that is pick one or the other. It doesn't matter. Look, people that's got free shipping, you really think you're getting fucking free shipping? No, you are not. They're just including that in the price. Okay, so it's really just a mind fuck game anyways. Somebody thinks, oh my God, I'm getting this free. So why would I? No, you're not. You're paying for it. You're definitely paying for it. Nobody's shipping shit to you for free. It just does not happen. So, but either or, pick one or the other, okay? And stick with it. That's what I do. Every single thing I'm selling in my store, everybody pays for the shipping. And we do all right, okay? But let's keep going back down there. Deliver your packages on time. That's real common. You guys, I probably could write a book on this shit, on certain things that worked for me and didn't work for me, because I do tend to, I experiment around a little bit. And one thing I didn't put on here that does work is revising your items. I didn't put that down here neither. And that is I think that is listing your items and revising your items is right up there at top. Okay. But obviously I didn't put listing your items because that's kind of, I didn't think I had to put that down. Right. But listing your items and revising your items is very important. One, if you've had an item that's been sitting on eBay for 6 months and it hasn't went nowhere, it's probably at the bottom of the algorithm and nobody's ever going to see it. It's like it vanished away somewhere. Like it's sitting somewhere in the back of eBay's fucking algorithm and nobody's even seeing it anymore. Drop it by a couple bucks, that fucker will pop right back up to the top. Right? It almost looks like a new listing. So deliver your packages, obviously. Discipline. Write a schedule, stick to it, and make an inventory system that works for you, right? I can make a whole video, and I have in my old group, of my inventory system. I could probably do that in 2 minutes because it's very simple. But in order for me to do that, like you would have to sell clothes, right? You would have to sell clothes. And there's a lot of people in here that ain't just selling clothes. They're selling all different kinds of things. So, to somebody that sells clothes, if you want to know my inventory system, I'll give it to you. All right, yeah, I'll make a video just for you. So that's what I've learned over the 4 years, and I threw a couple extra ones in there. One, obviously, guys, if you even have to ask if listing is important, you're playing with fire because that's the number one thing I learned. The number one thing I got from Rally Roots actually it's 5 years ago, because remember guys, I did research on this stuff for a year before I even got started. One thing I'll tell you is don't ever do that. I learned way more the first month I got started than I did the fucking year of doing research. You learn by hands-on experience. You learn by fucking up is what you do. A lot of people don't talk about that. If you're going to become successful on eBay, you're going to get successful by making mistakes. You're not going to, nobody ever became great at anything from being a perfectionist, okay? It don't work. You can't just be perfect at it. It's just don't work that way. You're going to get good by fucking up, right? Holy shit, my sales just went down $3,000 this month. What did I do? Go back and look. Oh, well, shit, I skipped 15 days of listing. That's a fuck up, right? Now you learn. Now don't do that again. It's that simple. But that's the video I wanted to bring today, guys. I'm going to begin to start bringing some more. Maybe I'll bring some things I've learned throughout the way, more things I've learned throughout the way, different ways that I've got inventory. There's a billion. People think the only way to get inventory, because they hear it all the time, is Goodwill, Salvation Army, and all these other, and it's a bunch of bullshit. No, it's not, man. Or garage sales. There's all different kinds of way, man. You don't know how many people will respond to your post on Marketplace if you say, hey, I buy vintage electronics, or I buy glasses, or whatever. You don't know. Right? Make a poster, put it in Saginaw, put it in wherever you live, and say, hey, I buy vintage RCAs. Or whatever it is you sell, right? And put it on a piece of cardboard and put your number at the bottom. You'll be amazed. People will call you, right? So it's your boy Flip and Stoop. I hope you guys have a rocking day.